When you see a Peterson singing and the whole world is celebrating, it's because of height. He has come to a place where demons can no longer cage his voice. But there are many people who have better voices. Respectfully speaking, he's a very gifted young man. But there are many people who have even better voices that nobody is hearing. Because there are spirits that have incubated, emasculated their voices, so that even when they shout, nobody hears. So when we are talking height, we are talking, number one, drawing from the realm of God, because you have the right to operate there. And number two, we are talking stopping the other spirits that stop men from rising. That's the spiritual dimension to height. Then when you talk about the dimension of height that has to do with men or the physical, you are talking about a place where you get to and you can impact the lives of people. Because if you are not up, you can't lift men. I did an illustration in church and they were laughing. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Who is a strong man here? Okay, come. You believe you're a strong man? Come. Can we look for a smallish person? Let me show you something. I'm talking about physical height. My brother, come. Please come. Let me show you something. With all due respect. But you look big. I needed somebody smaller. That man there, come. That one there with black. Please come. I want to show you something. I'm trying to bring you to terms with the practicality of what I'm teaching. This is smaller. Thank you so much. Don't be offended. Can both of you sit on the ground? Sir, help me lift this man up. Try your best. No, use two hands. Try all your effort. This is height. He doesn't have height, so he can't. Now stand up. Lift. No, to you, sit down. Lift him up. The problem was not about ability, it was about height. So when we talk about height, we are talking about your capacity to impact men. If you are down, no matter how you desire to help widows, you can't. No matter how you desire to help the sick, you can't. No matter how you desire to help the helpless, you can't. So the first is that you must gain height first so that you can pull them up. Are you seeing that? So when we are talking height, we are talking about capacity to impact men. There are men that you meet today, your story will change forever. And it won't cost them much. They can just talk and your life will change. And they can give you from the abundance they have. Your life will still change because they have height. So when we are talking about height, we are talking about authority to influence men. And then secondly, when we are talking about height, we are talking about authority to influence systems. Hope you know that there are people in this country who can speak from Abuja and there'll be public holiday in Warri. They don't need to come here. When they talk, systems obey them. So there are two dimensions to height. The first dimension is a spiritual dimension, where number one, you have access to the realm of God. So you spend from God's resources. And number two, you can deal with devils and demons. That's why I said Jesus is seated far above principalities and powers. And in Ephesians 2:6, he said we are seated with him. But there are things we need to do to experience that reality. Are you seeing that? And then in the natural realm, when we talk about height, is the ability to impact the lives of men so that your presence can improve their existence. And number two is your ability to speak, and then systems change because you have spoken. This is what height is about, but there are requirements. God bless you. What are the requirements for ascension? What are the requirements for gaining height in the spirit? Because like you saw in this brother, most of you have many gifts, but you don't have height. That's why you can see that some of you here can sing, but you are struggling. Some of you are smart, you are struggling. You are gifted, you are struggling. You have an ability that should impact your generation, but you don't have height. And so this conference will come to bring value to your abilities. This conference, can I shock you? Some of you sitting here, you know the Bible more than me. If you carry this microphone and start teaching, I will take notes, I won't stop. The problem is that I have more height. So the gift is there, the ability is there, but there is no height. And so if you have height, it will now bring value to your gift. It will now bring value to your abilities. It will now bring value to your potentials. This is why you must hear me. Because too many youths in Africa are gifted, but they are wasting because they don't have height. I met a brother recently, a dangerous inventor. Anything he touches, he can change it to anything. But he's in an environment that is depressed. He's in a valley. And so although he has gifts, but the environment wouldn't let him rise because of the environment. The environment is a low level. There's no height. If you meet this man, he will inspire you. As far back as 2011, he designed a car that can be powered with electricity. What Elon Musk did a few years ago that is making millions, this guy designed it in 2011. So if there was height to his talent, he should have been more wealthy than Elon Musk. As at 2011, Elon Musk is worth around $300 million. Today, Elon Musk is worth over $219 billion because of 3 projects that he has embarked upon from the place of advantage. So a man who is on top of the mountain can do little and the world will celebrate him. But the man who is below the valley will do 10 times more. Nobody will see it because he doesn't have height. This conference has come to give you the grace to ascend. It has come to add height to your life so that you will know that even what you have now is enough to change your world. But height is the challenge. What are the requirements for height? I give you 5 of them quickly tonight. Number 1, the first thing that gives you power for ascension in the realm of God is purity. I will take it from the spiritual dimension first, because the spiritual is superior to the natural. If you lack purity, you will discover that infirmity is a burden, infirmity is a weight, iniquity is a weight. All of that will pull you down. In Hebrews chapter 12 verse 2, the writer was speaking and he said, lay aside every weight that and sin that doth easily beset you, and run the race with patience. You know why many people cannot fly? They are heavy. Any equipment that wants to go high is designed to be light, because it will need that lightness as an advantage to gain height. But you see, in the spirit, one of the heaviest weight you will carry are iniquities and attitudes or lifestyle that are not consistent with the nature of God. And so when you find many people who are gifted yet struggling, check them. There is either a sin or a weight in their lives. And so a man who wants to gain ascension in the spirit, the first thing he needs to do is to rid himself of weight. As fast as Usain Bolt is, if Usain Bolt is carrying this AC, I will beat him in Olympics. It will no longer matter his capacity to run. He is carrying a weight. If I'm running with Usain Bolt and all of us are wearing tight, he will finish. I will still be close to the starting line. But if Usain Bolt makes the mistake of carrying this AC, no matter how fast he is, I will put my hand in the pocket and win him. The problem now is not his lack of speed. The problem is the weight he's carrying. Many people cannot ascend because they are carrying weights of immorality. They are carrying weights of lying. They are carrying weights of iniquity. So no matter what God does to them, in them, and through them, they can never ascend, because those weights will pull them down. That is why for anyone who wants to go high, ridding yourself of impurity must become your priority. See, you will take time and outline everything that makes it impossible for you to approach God. And you will pray consciously, Lord, remove this lying. Lord, remove this immorality. Lord, remove this pornography. Because if it is there, He will forgive you, but you cannot ascend. Every time you fornicate and you ask for forgiveness, He will forgive you, but you cannot ascend. Every time you live in sin, you ask for forgiveness, God will forgive you. It's His nature. But the problem is that you can never ascend. And so after many years, you will now discover you have missed too many seasons. And those seasons you have missed are supposed to be the staircases of your ascension. So every time you miss a season, you have missed a staircase. And you will look back later, after 30 years, you are on the same spot. Iniquity has robbed many people of ascension. They say, who shall ascend the mountains of the Lord? Who shall stand upon His holy hills? They say, him that is of a clean hands, him that is of a pure heart. So the first credential for ascension in the realm of God is purity. In 1 Peter 2:11, hear what Peter said. He said, dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust, which wages war against your soul. So when you are living in sin, what you don't know is that the power of your soul is what you are spending from. It said fleshly lust wages war. Why do you think many young people today cannot have strategic decision-making power? Why do you think many young men today lack the needed inspiration to move their life forward? And the way destiny works is that what can affect your 10 years can happen in a second. You just miss the moment. You sat with somebody, the right words to speak didn't come. It's after the person left you now remember what you should have said. What that person walking away, that's your 10 years going. Because what that person should have done, if you said the right thing, would have affected the next 10 years. But you see, you have spent of your mental power when you were giving yourself to iniquity. It says, flee youthful lust. It wages war against your soul. Too many of us are missing our moments. We are missing our seasons. Why? Because the inspiration didn't come at the right time. Sex, immorality, lying, hypocrisy, exaggeration, all of these things have made it has thwarted the circuit of flow of inspiration. And so every time you are knowing what you should say at the wrong time, every time you are approaching the moment of your visitation at the wrong time, and so all of these spiritual cycles are taking place, but you are the one missing out. And so you will discover that somebody who carried your 5 years just left. You didn't meet him. Somebody who carried your 10 years had a conversation with you. You spoke for 1 hour. You didn't know what to say, or you were saying only the wrong things. And when you were done talking and he left, he never remembers that he met you. And he just left with your future, because you have allowed iniquity to stain your soul. Every time you stain yourself with iniquity, I tell you, you have wasted your future. Why do you think? See, the devil is smart. He knows these things. Hope you know that he was a cherub. He operated in the courts of God. He knows how God works. And so when you look at the world today, almost 80% of every activity in the world today is designed to suggest sin and iniquity. The other day I carried my phone tab. I was writing on my notepad. For God's sake, notepad has nothing to do with internet. But because my data was on, suddenly I clicked notepad to write, and a young lady appeared on the screen opening her leg. I said, it was so embarrassing. What if somebody was passing? He would now say, look at Apostle. I was shocked and embarrassed at the same time. So they are forcing iniquity down your throat, because the devil knows that the eye is a gate, the ear is a gate. The moment you see it, the brain will go to work. And then some people sit there, they are processing pornography, processing immorality for 24 hours in every 48 hours. You think that kind of person can host a project that will affect worry? Do you know the mental energy that goes into a project that has a statewide scale? Do you know the mental power that goes into processing a project that have a national scale? I tell you, you will not have that ability. Do you think global things come cheap? It will take a lot of mental power. It will draw life out of you. That's why you cannot afford to waste life on iniquity. That's why you cannot afford. He said, I looked through the window, I saw a young man void of understanding. He said he was walking the path of death because he went the way of the harlot. The moment you journey the way of iniquity, the Bible calls it the path of death, because there your strength is wasted. There your life is wasted. There your energy is wasted. And so when the matters of destiny confront you, you are weak. You are helpless, you are vulnerable, and you don't know why you never ascend. Iniquity comes to eat you up. It comes to eat you up. And that's why Peter said to flee from these things. Every young man who wants to be impactful must know how to keep his or her vessel, because there will be many demands on your strength. There will be many demands on your mental power. There will be many demands on your life. And at all times you must be fresh. It's not enough to be present. You have to be fresh. You have to be your best. And for you to remain like that, purity, you cannot compromise on it. I'm telling you why many never ascend. When they come to matters of their destiny, they are so weak. They are so tired. And you are wondering, you are just 24 years old. Why are you so tired? Meanwhile, our fathers who are in their 80s are still very agile, going about their business as if they are in their 20s. And then you see people who are in their 20s so weak, because they have sapped out the energy of their destiny through iniquity. They've sapped out the energy of their destiny through impurity. And so the only thing they are good for is to sit down and gossip and talk what does not matter, and argue football, and talk about a gear, and talk about nonsense that cannot impact their destiny. You are seeing a man who should affect a nation. He sits down from morning till night watching a seasonal movie, because there's no energy. He cannot see. Matters of destiny come with demand. It takes a lot of demand to think. It takes a lot of energy to process. He doesn't have it. So all he can do is to sit down and waste away. And the root of it is impurity. The root of it is iniquity. If you want to ascend the hills of the Lord, he said your hands must be pure. Your heart must be pure. That means you must not be involved in anything that has to do with sin and iniquity. Peter said, run away from filthy lust. Run. If somebody brings something that has the stain of iniquity on it, run. Paul said, flee every appearance of evil. Flee. Don't wait. That's why Joseph succeeded. When Potiphar's wife said, come and sleep with me, he said, no, I cannot do this evil. The woman grabbed him. The guy took off. If you stand there, you will fall. And most of you stood, you thought you were strong, and later you came back weeping because you don't know the formula. The formula is to flee. When somebody comes with lying and gossip, flee. When somebody comes with immorality, flee. God is telling you that he wants to promote you, and suddenly a boy that you didn't talk to for 4 years now wakes up and say, Jennifer, are you still alive? See the way you have abandoned me. And then you say, no be so. No be who? Where are you coming from? I'm about to enter a new season. Why do they come at those junctions? You think the devil does not know? You that was cold, you attended many meetings. The only revival meeting you went to and caught fire, you are coming home, and then somebody called you and say, sorry, is that Matthew? You say, yes, because you heard a voice that sounded, is that Matthew? You are about to sink into the grave. Matthew, why did you throw me away like this? Did I do anything? If I did anything, I'm sorry. Off your phone, delete the number and block it. It's a pit. You are about to be swallowed into a pit. Have sense, sir. Have sense. Destiny is at stake. You think demons are not watching? Listen, Jesus was 8 days old. They already saw his star, and they knew he would be a king. Every season of your ascension, the devil knows, and he will look for something that is a weakness. He will look for something that is a pattern in your bloodline. He knew what your great-grandfather fell to. He knew what your grandfather fell to. He knows what your father fell to. He will bring it to you. 90% of the chance, you too will fall. Because if Abraham loved fair women, Isaac will love fair women. Jacob will love fair women. If Abraham lies to a king, Isaac will lie to a king. Jacob will lie. The devil knows. He has the whole curriculum vitae of your family, and he will take from it every strategic season. And so what wise men do is that they run from iniquity. They don't stand to fight it. They don't stand to explain. They don't show that they are strong. They run. It's when you have run away, you now look back. If you still see any sign, add some mileage. It's needed for ascension. Flee from every appearance of evil. Your future depends on it. He said, thou, O Lord, out of a purer eyes. He said, your eyes cannot behold iniquity. Number 2, how do you ascend? By humility. He said in that same scripture, Psalm 24 verse 4, he said that person must not have lifted up his soul in vanity. You know, when a man or a woman has greatness, there is a way he thinks. And so when the devil knows that there is greatness in you, he will now start putting pressure on it. And what that pressure comes to do is to force you to start living a lie. And so instead of allowing yourself to grow through process from your little into your great, the devil will force you to start acting as if you have arrived. And so because of that, where you need to bend your head to learn, you will not. And in our world today, they've given it a branded name. They call it packaging. So you see people living fake lives, putting pressure on themselves. A man who is earning 40,000 wants to live in a house of 700,000. So he needs 2 years salary to pay 1 year rent, so that people will think he is something. A young man comes to a place where he should learn. He sees elders. He wants to show so that they will say him too he's there, because he wants to snap a picture and put somewhere and appear in a way. And he's squaring shoulders where he should bend down. And when the devil sees that those tendencies are in you, he will now create a pattern of pressure on your life. And so your life will become fake. You will elude process. When you should say you are acting like the CEO, so that people will not mistake you or people will not undermine you, it's a lie. Listen, packaging does not give you honor. It is God that puts honor on a man. He said, lay your hands upon Joshua. I will take of the honor that is upon you and put upon him. If you need to sell pure water, sell it gracefully. You are in your process. If you are selling okrika, sell it with enthusiasm. You are in your process. There is an experience you need to pick from there, so that when you own a bank, you will not be deceived. Don't allow the devil bring pride to kill you. Because you know the problem with pride, if the devil succeeds in putting pride in you,